Hi everyone, and welcome to my AstroCartoGraphy Planetary Line series, where I am covering each of the planetary lines based on your rising sign. This is a peek into my formula. Of course, even though this is based on your rising sign, this is still going to be a generalized. So if this is the first video you are watching of this series, please go and watch the first part of this series, which is the sun line. And I dive a little bit deeper into why I'm doing it this way and so on. But basically, the other videos on astrocartography where they break down what the planetary lines are about, they're addressing the archetype of the planets. It is important to know the archetype of the planets. So Sun is where you shine, Jupiter is where you expand, Venus is love and money. But when I am doing it based on your rising sign, I am integrating what this planet relationship is to you based on your rising. Okay, so let's start with what Jupiter is, the archetype of Jupiter. Jupiter is known as the planet of expansion, the planet of growth, opportunity, wisdom, faith, higher education, travel, abundance, and the ability to see what is possible, which is why Jupiter astrocartography lines have been simplified to the planet of the line of expansion, the planet of abundance. But abundance of what exactly? That is going to depend on your chart. What I want you to know is that yes, Jupiter is the planet of abundance. Jupiter is the planet of opportunities, but it can bring abundance of things that you might not want. What you want to keep in mind is that on a Jupiter line, regardless of on the angle, this is a line where we tend to feel more optimistic, confident, generous, and willing to take risks. Doors may open more easily to us in here. We could attract teachers, mentors, international opportunities, or experiences that expand our worldview. This is the archetype of Jupiter, expansion, seeing things from a bigger perspective, a higher perspective. Jupiter does not simply mean good. Jupiter brings more opportunities, but sometimes more responsibility, more confidence, but sometimes overconfidence, more money, but potentially more spending, more food, more pleasure, more commitments, more expectations, and yes, sometimes more physical, okay, more expansion of the physical body. Do you want to expand your waistline? If not, then maybe keep in mind that that is one of the downside of being on a Jupiter line. Okay, so the real question I want you to ask is not, will Jupiter expand my life? The question I want you to think about when it comes to Jupiter is that, what area of life is Jupiter expanding for me? In this video, I am going to give you how Jupiter lines can play out for you. Just keep in mind, this is still a generalized interpretation. We have to take into account the aspects. We have to take into account the relocation chart. Planetary lines are not everything. So let's get into it. Let's start with Aries as the first rising sign. Aries rising, not sun. For you, Aries, Jupiter line will most likely activate travel, higher education, spirituality, teaching, publishing, foreign cultures, but also rest, retreat, and the subconscious mind. This can be a powerful place if you want to study. This can be a powerful place to publish, write a book. If you're a teacher, a coach, a mentor, a guide, this can be a great line for you. If you are doing any subconscious work, if part of your work is like behind the scenes, if you do astrology, psychology, this can also be a great line for you. The downside for you, specifically Aries rising, is that it can bring up fears, subconscious thoughts, blocks, things that you might have suppressed or hid for a long time. This can come up for you here. There might be a tendency to isolate yourself, but overall, this can be a great line, like I said, for learning, for publishing, for being a teacher, for expanding your world view, and for connecting with amazing mentors, guides, and so on. You may feel inspired to teach, study, publish, or immerse yourself in spiritual tradition on this line. International opportunities could become more available to you, and you may encounter mentors who help you see life from a completely different perspective. There may also be a quieter form of expansion behind the scenes. This line could also support retreats, healing, spiritual development, research, charitable work, or creating something privately before sharing it with the world. However, I want you to be mindful that you could use travel, spirituality, and constant learning to escape what is emotionally happening within you. You could over-idealize a teacher, a belief system, or a foreign destination, or keep searching for the next experience instead of integrating what you have already learned. This line can expand your faith, but it will also reveal whether your faith is grounded in wisdom or avoidance. Let's go to Taurus rising. For you, Taurus, Jupiter line or Jupiter lines will most likely activate shared finances, intimacy, investments, transformation, friendships, community, audience, and long-term goals. This is a great line to invest in. This is a great line to do some healing work for you. This is a great line to expand your network, find like-minded people. If you are in the online space, an online creator, this can be a great line for you because it is linked to your social media presence. So yeah, this is a great line for receiving support from other people. You may attract investors in here, financially supportive partners, larger clients, or opportunities involving shared resources like business funding, commissions, inheritances, or collaborative income may become more significant here. Your network may expand considerably. You could join influential communities, grow an audience, like I said, if social media is part of your work or online presence, or connect with people who help you achieve a long-term goal. This can also be extremely supportive for community-based businesses, membership, group programs, or work that relies on an audience. However, just keep in mind that more access to other people's resources can also create more debt, financial dependency, or complicated entanglements. So just keep that in mind. With Jupiter, it is access, and even if it's access of good things, we can also access of anything good can also be a detriment to us. I would say, when it comes to lines like Jupiter, Venus, especially these two lines, we can get so consumed by all this beauty, overindulgence, that we overdo it, and that can be detriment to us. So it's our job to make sure that we balance and we don't eat and take more and more and more. So you may become overly trusting with money in here, or assume that a promising connection will automatically produce the outcome you expect. This location can bring powerful support, but it will also ask you to be discerning about who you build with, borrow from, or financially merge with. Gemini rising. For you, Gemini, your Jupiter lines will most likely activate relationships, marriage, clients, partnership, career, reputation, and public visibility. This is a great line for you, Gemini rising. This is a great line for relationships. This is one of your love lines, actually. This can be a highly supportive line for you for attracting influential partners, romantic partners, client, mentors, or collaborations. This is a beautiful line for you, Gemini rising, for your career and for partnerships. Other people may open door for you professionally here. A relationship could easily increase your visibility, introduce you to new opportunities, or help you enter a larger market. Your career could also significantly improve here and expand here, let's say. You could receive the recognition you want, step into leadership, work internationally, or become known for your knowledge or ability to guide others. Cancer rising. Cancer, Jupiter lines will most likely activate work, health routines, being of service, and also higher education, travel, teaching, and spirituality. So 2 areas of life there: your health, Your day-to-day life is going to expand. So I am thinking potentially seeing more work and for you here. Your day-to-day life is busier, and that can be a beautiful thing because it is Jupiter that is linked with this for you. But also there's also expansion when it comes to learning, philosophy, teaching. If you're a coach, this is a great line for you. If your work is in that area of life, coaching, teaching, spirituality, then this is amazing line for you, Cancer rising. You could find better employment here, attract more clients, or build a career connected to teaching. Wellness is also another thing, spirituality, travel, or international work. This can also be a supportive place for studying, gaining certifications, or developing expertise that strengthen your professional path. Your day-to-day life may be more purposeful, like I said here, and fuller. You could feel inspired to improve your routine, take better care of your health, or create work that reflects your belief. However, Jupiter in the area of health and daily responsibility can easily also create excess. So keep that in mind. You may take on too much work, overestimate your energy, or develop habits based on indulgence rather than well-being. Leo rising. Leo, for you, your Jupiter lines will most likely activate creativity, romance, pleasure, children, self-expression, shared finances, intimacy, and transformation. For you, Leo, what I see Jupiter line is it's a great line. It's one of your relationship lines. If you came to me for looking for love, relationship, I would say your Jupiter line is one of your relationship lines. Relationship can flow more here. There's an expansion of it. There's expansion of a romance, dating, but also you just having fun. This is important, especially for a woman. Our ability to just be able to enjoy life, have fun, that's what attracts the right people to us. The house in astrology that rules dating is the same house that rules play, creativity, and living from the heart. And it's also children. I find that so beautiful, and I feel like all of these things are connected. The more you play, the more you express yourself, the more you're able to have fun, date, attract hopefully the right ones, and then that can lead to having children, right? So that's what this line is for you, Leo rising. But also deeper intimacy can also be potentially a great line for investment, and also healing, especially healing when it comes to relationships and love. You may feel more confident sharing your talents on this line, launching creative projects, dating, performing, or allowing yourself to simply enjoy life more fully here. And your work may attract greater financial support, investors, or clients. A romantic partner or a business partner could also contribute to your financial growth significantly on here. This line in summary is going to amplify your joy and creative powers. So if you are thinking about starting a business, or if you have a business, this can be an amazing line for that, along with love, fun, and play. Virgo rising. For you, your Jupiter line will most likely activate home, family, property, emotional security, relationship, marriage, clients, and partnership. So there's a lot in there, but what I can say is that for you, Virgo rising, it is going to be a great line. I mean, it is one of the lines for love for you. This is a great line for relationships, whether that's romantic, business, or just personal. But yeah, the common theme here, what I see is that partnership, marriage, and the themes of home here, family. If those words trigger something, perhaps, depending on your own story, this can be a challenging line at the start, but it will help you heal from those themes, of course, if you're willing to. You may find a larger or more comfortable home here, purchase property, or feel welcomed by the people in your environment. Relationships are going to expand here. Meet a significant others is likely, attract clients. This is very supportive for relationships, romantic or professionally, and very supportive when it comes to starting a family, supportive for buying your own home. It doesn't have to be with someone else. So I love this line for you, Virgo rising. Next, let's go to Libra rising. For you, Libra rising, Jupiter line is going to most likely expand communication, writing, teaching, learning, social media, and your day-to-day work, health, and routine. So if I think about it, for you, this is a great line if you are a writer, if you are in social media, if a part of your work involves communication and writing, and this is a great line of expanding that kind of work. If that's not your niche, if that's not your specialty, still you will be abundance when it comes to your day-to-day work. It is busy and in a good way because it is Jupiter. Of course, however, we have to look at the chart for more specific details of how this is going to play out for you. But I like this line for you if you want to expand on your intellectual influence, skills, your voice, writing, teach, speak, creating content, or share your ideas with a larger audience. However, just do keep in mind the downside of this could be your mind and schedule can become overloaded. Okay, excess of anything is always can be too much. You may say yes to too many projects, consume too much information, or assume you have more time and energy than you actually do. So just keep that in mind. This can also be a place where stress-related habits expand if you're not paying attention to your own body. This is going to be expansion of your day-to-day life, your routines, and your health, meaning health is going to be heightened. And so if you do not take care of your body, you can have some consequences as a result. Your ideas may be bigger here, but your calendar, nervous system, and daily structures need to be able to hold them. Okay, Scorpio rising. For you, Scorpio rising, your Jupiter line is going to expand your finances. So this is your money line for you, your self-worth, your talents, your creativity, romance, pleasure, and self-expression. So finances, but also romance, creativity, and play. So yeah, what could you expect on here? Optimism, confidence, and willingness to reinvent yourself. Other people may see you as knowledgeable, inspiring, or larger than life. You will experience significant personal growth, increased visibility, or a stronger desire to follow your own direction. Your life, your home life could also expand in here. This is a great line for you to purchase a property, to relocate. You might already be living on your Jupiter line or born on a Jupiter line, perhaps. Maybe a line where, when I say expand your family, that could be buying a property, that could be also meeting a person. And so that's a way of expanding your family, meeting a person, you start a family, maybe buy a property, a land. But yeah, this is what I would expect for you. I do like this line for you, Sagittarius rising. Next, let's do Capricorn rising. Jupiter line will most likely activate communication, writing, learning, spirituality, but can also suck you in the subconscious, the healing, solitude, isolating yourself. This can be a great line if these themes are things that you want to dive in. If you're a writer, you know, a lot of writers do need a lot of solitude time. This is where their genius is. Maybe research, that's what you do, teaching, spiritual study, or developing ideas behind the scenes. This is what I would say this line is great for you, Capricorn rising. But just because of the nature of what Jupiter is, and because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, Saturn is opposing, it's restriction. This is your nature, Capricorn rising, you're Saturnian. Jupiter is the opposite. So just wanted to share that sometimes Capricorn risings don't actually do as great in Jupiter lines. They actually do better in Saturn lines. So something to keep in mind. My husband is a Capricorn rising, and I have definitely seen that. He has done his business scaled on a Saturn line versus on a Jupiter line, actually. So something to keep in mind. Of course, each person will differ. But if we're just looking at the elements of the nature of the planets and the signs, I thought I would mention that. But other than that, what you could expect on a Jupiter line for you, Capricorn rising, is support, long form writing, meditation, a great line to retreat actually, a therapy, work in institution, private setting, and so on. You could also become attached to your beliefs here that feel comforting but prevent you from facing reality. This line will expand your inner world and your spiritual understanding, but it will ask you to make sure your wisdom does not remain hidden inside your mind. Okay, Aquarius rising. Aquarius rising, Jupiter line is going to expand your finances, self-worth, but also your community, friendship, audience, and long-term goals. So what I can see is that this is one of your money lines, first of all, and especially if your money comes through charity work, through networking, through social media. This is an amazing line for you, Aquarius rising, when it comes to finances and increasing your network, which could as a result also increase your finances. You attract the right mentors here, the friends that feel like a tribe to you, great collaborations who connect with you with larger opportunities. Your audience could grow here. You may gain access to communities that help you imagine a bigger future. Your income increases as your reach expands. There may be also a pressure to keep growing simply because people are responding positively. So if that is not the season that you're in, if that's not something that you are doing, that is the downside of even the best lines when we go to them, and that's not what we want. Sun line, going on a sun line, when I want to retreat, when I want to focus on my family and my kids, it can actually be a challenging line because sun is about outworld, right? It's about performing, it's about shining. And if I'm on a place that's activating that, but I want to do something opposite, then it can be a challenging place. So always make sure that the line is aligning with your own goals, what you want to create. Okay, next is Pisces rising. Pisces rising, Jupiter line is going to expand you physically too. So the downside of this is that yes, gain weight just like Sagittarius rising, but the positive of this is that expansion of your identity, being known, seen, confidence, but also your reputation, your career. So if you are the brand, if you are the face of the brand, this is an amazing line for you and for your career, for the work that you do. Jupiter here is going to help you feel a lot more confident, hopeful, and connected to your sense of purpose. Other people may view you as knowledgeable, inspiring, or trustworthy, which can bring greater visibility, recognition, and professional opportunity. This is a powerful line for you for teaching, coaching, spirituality, publishing, international work, or stepping into leadership. If you want to be seen, this is a line of being seen for you because this is your chart ruler. You may also feel encouraged to take up space here. This is why I say your likelihood to feel seen here, your likelihood to become even more seen and visible. Again, just like the previous sign, if this is not your goal and that's not a season of the life you're in, it could be a challenging line because it's triggering, activating an energy that you don't really want to focus on right now. And that's it, you guys. This is your Jupiter planetary line based on your rising sign. Now, again, please remember that this is the general. Maybe it's a little bit more in depth than the general planetary lines that you have heard in other videos, but yet this is still general because, of course, I'm just basing it on your rising sign. I need to see your relocation chart. The planetary line on each angle is going to be different. The planetary line, based on the aspects that you have, is going to play out differently. And then the most important thing is your goal. Does your goal align with what this line activates in your chart, in your story? So that's it for me today. I will see you in the next video. Please let me know if you have been to your Jupiter line and whether any of this resonates with you. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any questions, please drop them below, and see you in the next one.